The simp economy just collapsed.
The collapse of the simp economy has made it impossible for gold diggers to control Simp's wallet.
The simp economy just collapsed, and gold diggers everywhere are pissed off, crying in the streets, and really rethinking their futures as well as their lives. Guys, watch the end of the video to understand why the simp economy just collapsed and the implications that it's going to have for modern women in society. Don't forget that come 2030, 45% of women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be childless and single in the US alone. So watch the end of the video to understand the implications that women will be facing, consequences women will be facing as a result of the collapse of the simp economy. And now let's just go ahead and jump right back into the video.
Single woman, the dream of marrying a rich and handsome Prince Charming seems even more out of reach. Thus, on 520 Day, a phenomenon emerged on one side, gold diggers getting nothing, and the other side, older single women lamenting, "No man pays attention to me." The so-called simp economy is a popular term that has emerged on the internet in mainland China in recent years. In the simp economy, simp describes those who are excessively attentive and overly adoring of the opposite sex, and the main point is despite their continuous dedication and attentiveness, they may not necessarily win the favor of the other person. The consumption generated by these simps in their efforts to please is collectively referred to as the simp economy. It must be said that Chinese capitalists have made a fortune off the simp economy. And those who are vain and willing to use their bodies and look to exchange for gifts and money, treating love as a business, are the gold diggers who rely most on the simp economy. They need men to buy for them. In fact, the rise of the May 20th festival is a consumer trap set by businesses. During good economic times, people don't care much about where their money goes, only whether they spend it happily. Only in economic downturns, when money is tight, do people become clear-headed and see through the capitalist schemes. The once romantic confession day, May 20th, is now labeled as, by many men, as Gold Diggers Day. The public opinion suggests this directly proves that men are waking up. In the past, the tradition of men unilaterally buying gifts for women led to unequal spending and returns for men. Sometimes, if they bought the wrong gift or not enough, instead of praise, they face criticism. Many now believe it's better to spend money on themselves or their families. Pursuing a relationship not only requires money but also time and effort. For simps, long-term dedication does not bring certainty, only increasing sunk costs. Moreover, in the current economic downturn, the pressures from unemployment and housing prices, young people are losing confidence in the future. Nowadays, many young people believe that making money is better than finding a partner. In the midst of busy working schedules, managing a relationship that requires significant financial expenditures has become a burden. When times are good, they might have indulged a bit, but when money is tight and expectations are lowered, they have to consider cost effectiveness. With limited funds, investing in a vague dream seems less appealing than spending on oneself and enjoying life in the present. Due to the collapse of the simp economy, businesses have experienced the worst sales on record for this May 20th. Scenes of 10 yuan for 5 bouquets and piles of flowers and garbage bins seems to be announcing to the Chinese society there is no way we're spending money for love. This was a scene on May 20th this year. The video showed beautifully packaged flowers, which used to be the most sought-after items on this day, now reduced to 10 yuan for 5 bouquets at street stalls. Flowers, 10 yuan for 5 bouquets, 10 yuan for 5 bouquets. Despite this, there are still very few customers, and most of them are women. It's important to know that in previous years, these flowers were in high demand on May 20th. If you didn't reserve them in advance, buying on the day meant outrageous prices and uncertain availability. But now, piles of flowers are turning into mountains of garbage, and no one wants them. Previously on May 20th, the area around trash bins would be filled with beautifully packaged flowers and gifts. You could make more money by scavenging around a trash bin than by going to work. But this year's May 20th, trash bins weren't as lively. Most of what is discarded were flowers, and the occasional discarded gift was nowhere near the quality of previous years.
So think about this very carefully. In previous years, Sims would spend all of this money to buy things for women, and then it would just throw them in the trash. Even the gifts that the Sims would give to these women would be thrown in the trash, and you would make more money scouring the trash for garbage that things that women discarded, so that you could resell them online. This is like brand new stuff than to actually go to work. But now the simp economy is dying off. All right, it just collapsed. These men are realizing it's just not worth it. And in China right now, and it's not just China, in the US, you still have M2 going, where M2 is still raging, and it's raging loud, raging harsh. All right. Oh, it's because men are bothering us. We need to bring more attention to men bothering us. This is the type of thing that they're doing. As more men are not dating. 70% of men in Western society are not dating right now. Men in China right now are not dating. Men around the world are not dating. And what are they doing? They're turning around. The ladies are turning around and saying that we need more attention. We need more M2. We need more M2. Like, guys, this is basically just throwing a hissy fit. The ultimate goal of modern women is to ensure that every man goes MGTOW. Like, they don't even want you to go MWA. They don't want you exploring alternatives. They don't want you becoming a passport king. They want you to go MGTOW. They're trying to push as many men towards MGTOW as possible, where they basically begin living separate lives away from relationships and society. That's what these women are fighting for. These women are the cheerleaders of MGTOW. On one hand, they say they want it banned. On the other hand, they are fighting for every man on the planet to go MGTOW. Because once you understand how women actually think, it doesn't matter how much women get. It doesn't matter if men have 25% of the resources and women have 75%. It doesn't matter if men are no longer allowed to live in cities and they are now living in the outskirts of society, and women occupy all the positions in society. They occupy everything in society. They hold all of the power in society. They will still say that they do not feel equal to men, and they will still complain and say that they do not feel equal to men, because no matter how much, because women do not operate on facts, they operate on feelings. So if the facts say that women are holding near 100% of everything in society, and men are just in the outskirts, fighting for survival and not bothering them, unless their feelings tell them that they are now equal, they will never feel equal. On one hand, they feel like they are better to men. On the other hand, they will continue to say that they are victims. Even if there are no men left on the planet, zero men on the planet, they will still say that they are victims and that we are villains until their feelings tell them otherwise. It is only when they have scorched the earth, there is nothing left. All right. And they are now forced to sit and look at what they've done, and their feelings have betrayed them. That's when they may, not always, many times they will still stay on their hill until the very end. But that is only when they possibly may say, yeah, my feelings betrayed me. I screwed up. I thought I was big, bad, and I had it all, and I kept on pushing, and now there's nothing. You know, I went and I did this. I destroyed my life. And that's only when they will finally say that, after they've destroyed their lives, after they've thrown everything away, after they've scorched the earth, they'll then go and look at the facts and say, yeah, I did this. And don't expect them to apologize. Never expect them to apologize, because at that point, they will still double down and feel like they were victims of their feelings. They will feel like they're victims of their feelings and of their situation. It's a strange concept where a woman will destroy her life and feel like her feelings betrayed her, and she's a victim of herself. She's a victim of herself, guys. I want you to think about this. She's a victim of herself. So she's a victim of her feelings. The feelings, which are the only things that she will actually remain loyal to in this world. All right. The only thing that a woman will remain loyal to are her emotions, are her feelings. Okay. And wherever the wind blows, her feelings will go. So she will. This is it. It's like a complete mind war, and the reason why she will feel this way, and she will blame. She'll basically say she's a victim of herself or a victim of her feelings, is because at least this removes this removes the accountability, because she can never say that she made the cognitive decision to do this. It's not her fault. It's her feelings' fault. It's she's a victim of herself, but not her. Like her feelings made her do it, and her feelings, it's because of society. So it's not even her; it's society. It's always going to be someone else. They're always going to find someone else to blame. What are the implications for the fall of the simp economy? Extraordinary amounts of destitution. As more women find themselves childless and single, 45% of them between the ages of 25 and 44 will be childless and single in the US in just a few years, 5.5 years. Guys, there's going to be a large amount of destitution in the United States and China, around the world, of single women. The government is not going to be able to bail them out. The government does not have those kind of resources. China does not have money. China is broke right now. The United States cannot even pay the interest on its $35 trillion in debt right now. And guys, even though you're watching this video and you're seeing that the simp economy has collapsed, many of you still believe that the simps will bail them out. The remainder of the simp economy is moving overseas. It's moving over to the Philippines. It's moving over to the Philippines. It's moving over to Thailand. All right, these Filipinos are not messing around. All right, they're fighting hard for that. They're getting catty too. All right, leave our simps alone. So it's a bad thing. Western women, Western women and women in westernized countries like China, they're between a rock and a hard place, and they don't care because they will stay on that hill to the very end. So the future is destitution, more men going MGTOW, saying they want to separate themselves from relationships, dating, and society, and instead focus on making money, building up their resources, and living the best lives they can. If they want physical intimacy, they will just use their hand. And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, subscribe to our newsletter for my personal thoughts, insights, and a free copy of my ebook, The Blueprint for Escaping the Rat Race. Click the link in the description to get your free copy. What do you guys think regarding all of this? The simp economy just collapsed. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA. Ben walking away, and cheers.